G'day, mates. It's your boy here, and we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and logged in today, and we got this double special heroes banner. So I'm going to give you guys the rundown. Is this a banner worth your orbs? Is this worth summoning on? And honestly, the TLDR version of this would be no. I would say do not spend a single orb on this. Do your freebie summon and then walk out. I did mine, by the way, and I did it on red, and I pulled a 4-star Selena, so RIP there. But I can't really recommend anyone summon on that banner when we have this banner going on right now. This is just a way better banner. The value here is so much better. Ascended Air is like one of the dumbest units they've ever released. Literally, it's just Brave Seliph on wheels, because she's a ranged version of him. Miracle is broken, and I guarantee you we're like 1 or 2 banners away from getting an anti-Miracle skill. And then we got Rearmed Robin as well, who's just like a god of fodder. Comes with a save skill, comes with Hardy Fighter, and using the trick to sort of duplicate skills on rearmed heroes, you could essentially give her better stuff and then use that for fodder instead. She's also a really good unit to use just by herself. So why would you ever summon on the double special banner when you could just summon over there and you're getting so many better things? Let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to tell you guys why this banner isn't all that great. So starting up, we have the Baby Boo Boo Ike. This guy is not very good. I was very disappointed when he came out because he's just not up to snuff with today's standards. He's playing very fair, let's put it like that. Compared to some of the other units in the game, like Brave Seliph and Ascended Air, they cheat. Like, they have access to Miracle. You just cannot get rid of them, right? So, like, that's cheating. That's not fair. But this guy is playing very fair. He just gets all stats of 5. He has sort of like a special spiral before he initiates combat. He's got some damage reduction, and then he's got null follow-up. So, already, that just sounds like typical God Sword stuff, right? And God Sword units aren't even in vogue anymore. No one really uses God Swords. You're better off using, like, these crazy nukes that have Kanto, and they've got, like, Miracle, and they just can't die, and, like, nonsense like that. So, I don't know, man. This unit really didn't feel all that impressive to me when they came out. They do have a really good duo skill, though. I think the duo skill is the only thing about them that's kind of good. So we got attack and speed -7. They inflict guard on foes in 5 columns and 5 rows centered on them, and also special cooldown charge +2 to them as well, which is the main juice out of this duo skill. You're going to want to do that because it's basically like odd pulse tie or even pulse tie to shut down special charging on the enemies. But we're also seeing this new ability on units like Brave Tiki that they can actually do something like this at the start of combat where they do -1 special cooldown count to the enemy. And then if you have guard on units like them, the Halloween Duna is the other one. The enemies just can't use specials, period. So I feel like it's a little bit of a moot point that they do this now. Also, this is not a reusable duo skill. I feel like out of any duo skill, if there was going to be a reusable one, this was definitely the one to do it. Because otherwise, it's just not going to matter. Like, you pop this once in a fight, and it only takes like 1 or 2 turns for them to get their specials charged again with stuff like Duo Crom and Asker on the team, who wasn't really available when they came out. So, I don't know, man. This guy, he just feels like a misplay by Faye for releasing this. I feel like he could have been way better. Alright, then we have the other red hero, Nyla, and I'm going to be honest, guys, I think Nyla is actually better than Ike is. Even though you don't really see this unit too often, if I had this unit, I'd totally be using her in Summoner Duels myself. So we have Kanto Rem +1. We got all stats up 5. We got -1 special trigger. We got null follow-up. We got tempo. We got +7 true damage when doing a special. You think I named off enough effects there? Like, is that good enough? And just look at this wall of text, bro. You can't even see Nyla when you have her weapon open. It just takes up the whole screen. I don't know, like, if you're a new player and you just open up a weapon to see what it does and this is what you get, a wall of text, I think that's the sign that something's wrong with this game. So, I don't know, man. But there you guys go. what I would do with this Nyla is give her either hit and run or give her wind sweep, and then just have her abuse the hell out of glare. She can initiate on enemies that may have near save, and they're going to swoop in, and if she's got wind sweep, she's just going to nail them. She's going to inflict glare, and then she's going to get out of the way with Canto Rem or hit and run. And then after that, the enemies are gravitied, and they can't really do much to stop you. So I feel like there's a lot of good things about this Nyla. You can use her in a similar way to the way people are using Valentian Pala, where they just give her hit and run, and she's already got Canto 2 innately. So if the enemies happen to have Canto control somewhere on the team, not really going to matter, because you can still essentially have Canto 2. And then with Glare, it just makes it even worse, because then she's inflicting gravity. So, surprisingly, the better of the two red units, in my opinion. Okay, then moving on to blue, which is another good thing about this banner, is that they actually have both of the demote heroes on the same color. So if you wanted to avoid 4 stars, you just pull on anything else, and you're probably only going to get a 5-star. So starting up, we have the Summer Claude. This guy is the best demote they've ever released, ever in the history of ever, forever. He is so stupid. Like, for a demote character, compared to all the other demotes, it's just not even close. He's got Fallen Star innately. He's got a Brave Attacking Dagger with Canto Realm built in. He's got -1 special trigger, attack and speed up 6, and then he does, like, true damage and shit. This guy's really good. Like, he is very much worth trying to get to +10. If you wanted to summon on the banner and go for him at +10, I actually think he's probably the best thing to go for. Like, the best value on the banner is trying to merge him up. But the fact that he's color sharing with Owain, I think that kind of takes away a little bit of the value here. You're probably better off just waiting until next year for his rerun to try and +10 him there, where he's the only blue unit. But even saying that, it's like you got to wait another year for that to happen, and by then he's probably going to get power crept by some other demote in that time. So, I don't know. It's going to be up to you whether or not you want to summon here. We also have Owain on the banner, like I said. He's got Piercing Tribute, which does attack and speed up 5, and also half null follow-up, which is pretty solid on these cavalry and flying type units that can't naturally just have null follow-up. But they also have ways to get null follow-up now with the Beast skill. We have, like, Flow Refresh and all those things. Like, what's the one that Thor had? I think it's Flow Guard, which is another really good one. So, null follow-up has kind of been devalued a little bit. We also got it as a Sacred Seal for infantry and armored units if they want to use it there. Or just infantry units, I believe. I don't think anyone else can have null follow-up besides infantry. So, yeah, his weapon, it's okay, but it's not anything crazy. He's got Blue Flame, which is pretty nice fodder for a demote, but also not worth summoning just to get a copy of. And then he's got Attack and Speed Bond 3 and Wings of Mercy, which are, again, okay for fodder, but I would say, even though Claude is amazing, I would say blue is probably a skip just like red. So, moving on to green, we have the Groom Roy, who is certainly a contender for the best cavalry axe unit in the game. We have a handful of them that are all really good, and I think this guy might actually be my favorite one. So, where do I even begin with this unit? He's got effective against Dragon and effective against Beast, which is like the most clutch type of effective damage to have at the moment. If you're effective against Dragons in this meta where Dragons just got like 5 consecutive banner buffs in a row, I feel like you're doing pretty good. So on top of that, they have Canto 2 built in, -1 special trigger, all stats of 5. They can inflict penalties on the enemy based on half of their blue bonuses active with a max of 6. And also when you combine that with the duo skill, giving them resonant shields and treachery, this is a really raw-ass unit, man. This unit is very powerful. It's real easy for them to just run up and attack and delete whoever they're attacking. Typically, it's going to be dragon units like Medeus and like Iduns and stuff like that. Those are the targets you're going to want to break with this guy. Also, Treachery. I feel like Treachery is one of the strongest harmonic or duo skills in the game. It's similar to Dominance, where you're just gaining a Blade Tome bonus on all your allies from Fire Emblem 7 and Fire Emblem 6. And it also activates when you're using AoE attacks. So Legendary Lilina and Bride Lilina, both of them are going to be able to use Treachery with Gifted Magic, which is pretty stupid. So a very strong unit, and probably the best unit overall on the banner, I would say. This is definitely the most meta unit on the banner. So green is probably the best color overall to go for. They are accompanied by the Bunny Maria, the cutie pie of the banner. So her weapon is similar to Asker and also the Brave Dimitri, where she's getting true damage reduction as well as true damage based on her defense. She also has this 7 HP recovery passively for God knows why. Anytime they couple true damage reduction with recovery, it's just very annoying to deal with. She has innate IO shield, which is very good because she's a flying unit. And then, of course, she just gets all stats of 5 because why not? So a very strong unit. Surprisingly, I also think this is the best unit of her banner, even though the Harmonic Sonia was really good too. I just feel like this Maria has always been a unit that annoys the hell out of me. If you've never fought her at plus 10 in arena mode, you have no idea, man. You better pray to God that you have a mage on your team to do magic damage. Because if you don't, trying to kill this Maria with physical attacks is just not happening, man. She is so nuts in the physical matchups. So then for fodder, she also has attack and speed push 4. She's got flow flight, which is another really nutty skill. I feel like flow flight might be the best B skill for those that it applies to. So it's giving you more instances of true damage reduction and also true damage based on your speed minus the foe's speed, or your speed has to be higher than the foe's speed minus 10, and then 70% of that difference is going to be calculated as true damage and true damage reduction. So you can essentially get a max of 7 points of that if you have 10 more speed than the enemy, and that's very strong, especially combined with her weapon that already does both of those things. You can get to some really ridiculous levels with this. I've seen this meme where Marth is doing like 99 damage to her in the status screen, and then as soon as combat starts, he hits her and it's just 0 damage. So yeah, a very wild unit there. And then finally on Colorless, we have the Baby Boo Boo Soren here. A pretty good release. Actually, I really like this Soren a lot. I feel like he might have been the best unit on his baby banner. So we got -1 special trigger. We got attack and res up 6. If his res is better than the foe's res, -1, or no, if his res is just 1 point higher than the foe's, he gets a guaranteed follow-up. If it's 5 higher and the foe has a sword, lance, axe, bow, dagger, or beast damage, he gets wind sweep, or rather I should say fire sweep, so they can't counterattack. And then if he's got 10 more res than the foe, then he has also the damage reduction cut ability that we've seen on the Duo Lift, which is one of the more powerful effects. Damage reduction is very rampant, and if you have any ways to go around that, then you're looking pretty good. So as a mage nuke, this guy is very powerful. He's got Time's Pulse, he's got Mirror Impact, so pretty good fodder overall. Definitely a solid unit to pull. And he is accompanied by my favorite unit in the game, the thickest of the thick. So we got Summer Freya here, the hottest mama. Bright Horn is pretty solid. I mean, has she fallen off by this point? It's been quite a while since she came out, so I don't know if I can go around saying she's one of the best melee units or Gale Force units anymore, but she's still really good. I feel like she still holds up. And Binding Necklace is one of the main reasons why. It's very hard to beat her on a stat check because of this. Like, the stat swings you get out of Binding Necklace is just a middle finger to almost every unit. So she is still very potent for sure. She's getting all stats of 5. She has damage reduction based on speed, so she's got dodge. And then when she transforms, she gets half a null follow-up. So a pretty solid unit. Or no, is that half a null follow-up? Neutralizes effects that prevent units follow. Yeah, she does. Essentially, if she transforms, she just has full null follow-up, because she has that part in the start of her weapon, and then on the bottom part, when she transforms, she gets the impact effect as well. So a very overall good unit. Not really too much else to say. She's kind of aged a little bit by this point, but you can't really go wrong. She's still got good fodder with Attack and Speed Solo 4 and Fatal Smoke. Not many units come with Fatal Smoke, so pretty good when you have that. So overall, that is the banner. I would say your most good bet would be to hit green. If you don't have this unit, actually, they might be worth trying to go for a copy of. But otherwise, if you want to gamble and try your luck, maybe go for a +10 on Claude if you can. Or if you failed to +10 him when he was first around, then I guess this is your second chance at it. But like I said, guys, this is just a big skipperoo. You want to go in on the Ascended Heir and the Rearmed Grima banner instead. This is a really powerful banner with a lot of good things you can get. So that's going to wrap us up for this banner. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, and this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.